Once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to B&E TV Sports with me, your boy, the man, NJ, number 2 the city with the number 2 in TO. Let's go into this video. So once again, this is pretty much 2018 NFL Draft post reactions part 2. Pretty much picking back up where I left off on the first video. I'm pretty much talking again more about the quarterbacks and more about other positions as well when it comes to their draft stock of where it was before the draft and then how it obviously got evaluated and ended up where they ended up being taken or even not taken because they're now undrafted throughout the 3-day draft. I mean, all glory be to God. I enjoyed the draft. I definitely did. But I learned a lot from the draft. One of the top things that I learned is that hype, that buzz, that a lot of these guys got coming into this draft, it does not personify, or it does not, it does not personify, I think personify, or whatever word that is, it does not, or I think solidify is a better word. It does not solidify their place when it comes to where you as the analyst or you as the viewer think that they're going to go. You might think that they are a top 3 talent when it comes to the first, second, and third round. You would think that they should go in one of those three rounds, which is what I thought with a majority of these quarterbacks. I thought with Mason Rudolph, with Kyle Lauletta, and etc. I'm like, these guys are definitely going, within the top, top 3 rounds. One of the top reasons why, because Kyle Lauletta, and not to say they didn't go in the top 3 rounds, but Kyle Lauletta went in the 4th round. He was the MVP. He was the Senior Bowl MVP. So I really don't understand how the Senior Bowl MVP ends up going in the 4th round. Quote me on that. The Senior Bowl MVP. How did he end up going in the 4th round instead of the top 3 or even top 2? That didn't make much sense to me whatsoever. And to know that it's not Logan Woodside, but I think it's Tanner Lee it's Luke Falk. Sorry, Luke Falk. I don't know why Tennessee drafted him, but to a certain degree, it's still good for developmental options down the road because you still never fully know how Marcus Mariota is going to be working down, towards, the next, 3-4 years, Again, they still like Marcus. Not going to say they don't. They definitely still like him. I still like him. Say they with Tampa and Jameis. Like, they've obviously gone through their struggles within their first 3 seasons. But obviously, those guys are still on the teams for a reason, and so forth and so forth. Like if you were to ask me, majority of the fan base likes both those guys. But obviously, Luke Falk is definitely there still. It's just a developmental option, down the road if they were to move on from, Marcus, or definitely to be his backup, for this, near future to again learn how the NFL works and playbooks and etc. and footwork, so forth and so forth. But I don't understand how Luke Falk literally ended up, I would say, how he even ended up getting drafted in, I think, the 6th round. I don't understand that. Luke Falk is another quarterback that I could have sworn should have been drafted within the first 4 rounds, not the 6th round. Logan Woodside is the exact same thing. I expected multiple quarterbacks to go within the first 3-4 rounds, not within 6th, 7th rounds. That's just what I predicted. And a few other scouts or a few other analysts on television, they predicted the exact same thing. And to know our predictions did not go exactly the way we planned or even close to the way we planned, it's very, for me, somewhat frustrating and definitely just, jaw-dropping, eye-opening, like what truly goes into these evaluation processes when it comes to who these guys want to draft. What truly goes into it. Because what you did in college can't matter that much if certain guys definitely dropped as big as they did, especially accomplishing what they did, breaking some of the records that they broke and being, voted team captain as many times as they did or whatever else they did throughout their college career and even high school career that ended up, getting them to where they are today. It obviously can't play that much of a factor because if it did play that much of a factor, I do believe some of these NFL teams definitely would have picked up more of these quarterbacks earlier and definitely maybe even a few other, skill position players that I learned about throughout the rest of the draft. So forth and so forth. It's utterly amazing if you were to ask me. Again, God bless real brother Shaquem Griffin, but he should have not fell to the 5th round. Or better, he should have never fell to the 5th round. He should have been picked within the first 3 rounds. Shaquem, I love you, brother. God bless, like literally, I mean, and definitely, you have a fan in me, brother. You got a real fan in me. Again, like everyone says, inspiration for a lot of people, inspiration for us all, really. You and your brother are going to dominate for many years to come, and you and your brother are definitely going to win quite a few Super Bowls together. I'm really, 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 really rooting for you. I'm just surprised that your hype was good enough, at least going into this draft, where you should have been drafted within the first 3 rounds. That's where your hype and your buzz was, at least from what it seemed like it was over the course of all these months. And then to know what you accomplished with UCF, but yet you still end up falling to the 5th round. I mean, I know that, again, all glory be to God. We're just, blessed and gifted to have landed in the spot that, you landed. I'm very happy for you and your brother and your entire family and the entire Seattle Seahawks fan base. They got such a great, pairing with that, and they got it right with that. I'm so happy. But at the same time, I'm very disappointed that you mean to tell me that you dropped to the 5th round. Your hype and your buzz was so much greater than that. You should have been selected within the first 3 rounds. And I don't know how many other Shaquem Griffin fans out there feel my you could say my pain and my grief and my burden or whatever else words you want to put there when it comes to what I'm talking about here. But think about it. How in the world was his buzz? I'm telling you, his buzz was like top 10 prospects, top 20 prospects. But yet he falls to the 5th round? Someone tell me how that is. He ran the fastest, ladies and gentlemen. He ran the fastest linebacker or something like that. He ran or defensive back. He ran the fastest, something like that, time in the combine history for the last, how many years. But this man fell to the 5th round. I mean, I'm sorry, but this is one of the top things this draft taught me was what you did in college, what you did in college pro days, the combine. I mean, God bless it all, but it doesn't seem like it matters anymore. It probably has never mattered, but definitely throughout the last few years that I've studied this draft, and definitely this year I saw it the most. They say this is supposed to be the year of the quarterbacks, but yet after the first round was over, you barely saw any quarterbacks going. And if you saw them, it was definitely 1 or 2, and then after that, like, come on. I'm sorry, but this NFL draft with the hype and the buzz around certain players was very disappointing to me. Very disappointing. You got the combine, pro days, and what you did in college, and your draft stock still fell, ladies and gentlemen. Think about it. Shaquem's draft stock still fell. 5th round. How? He had the hype and the buzz of top 20, if I'm not mistaken. Think about it. He had the hype and buzz of top 20, if not top 10. And he ran the fastest combine time of any, I want to say linebacker, defensive back, something like that within recent years. But yet this man still fell to the 5th round. God bless y'all. Take care.